Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Friday! Everybody made it to Friday! Woohoo! So anyways, ta-da! We're here. Sorry, everything's a little crooked on my desk. I know, it's almost the end of the month. Didn't we just start October? I mean, seriously. I forgot my earrings for today. Shame on me. Oh no, I didn't. I forgot I fell asleep in mine. Anyways, yeah, it's going to be one of those fun days. So welcome to Aloha Oracle Friday. Good morning, Eileen. I'm going to read you the guidelines first, and then we'll jump right into angel answers or whatever. So the decks I pulled today, Enchanted Unicorn Oracle, because I love those. Magical Messages from the Fairies. We usually start with the Angel Answers deck. I have Angels of Atlantis, which is a new deck. My dad actually bought that for me. He was out thrift storing with my cousins one day, and just to get out of the house, and he found a couple of decks for me, which I thought was really sweet because I'm not really sure he subscribes to what I believe in, but it was nice that he thought of me. So ta-da! So yeah, there's that one, and I've only used that deck once, so I admit I'm not familiar with it, but I do love archangels. So, and against my better judgment, the Romance Angels. I don't know, I didn't want it, but I was told pull it, so ta-da. Anyways, guidelines. Do not worry where the message is coming from. I only work from a good place. So if you're seeing this, there's a reason you are here. So, stick around. You never know. Ask a question. Number 2, do not try to make a card reading fit your question. If the card does not resonate with you, forcing an outcome or an answer not meant for you can cause unnecessary stress and anxiety and severe overthinking. And number 3, I will give you the message I receive and the message from the book because someone took the time to put it together. So, ta-da! There you go. I got my candle lit. Dun, 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 dun. It smells so pretty. Evergreen mist. It smells like a forest. Not one on fire, just a forest. Shut up. I'm telling myself to shut up. Just being dumb this morning. All right, let's get rolling. This is actually the only deck I do not read the book on because these are pretty cut and dry. It's to kind of just take the time while I wait for people to come on. If you are on live and you have a question, please feel free to ask. If you have a question you're watching later, let me know. If I see the notification, I will pull an extra card if you tell me what deck that you were in when the time happened. So I don't mind. Sometimes pulling an extra card for clarification is helpful. So let's see. Tapping into my archangels and my guides. Let's see what we got for everybody today. Monday will be a very special Halloween episode. I may do a small card pull that day. I'm not sure yet. But we're going to go over what Halloween is all about. We're finished with the self-love. And then probably next week or maybe the week after, we will start the Vortex deck, which I really, really love because I really believe that will help kind of really put the sealant right on that whole self-love thing that we did. So let's go. All right, there's one right there. Okay, so we're going to start from right here. All right, so that card you saw flip over will be the second card. So whatever you're looking at, it will have a peaceful resolution. I don't know what's going on in your life, but if there is trauma, if there is something bad, or you're going through a rough time, it is going to come to a peaceful resolution. Actually, I'm being told to read the book on this one. So peaceful resolution. I mean, I kind of just said it all, didn't I? But let's see. The challenges you're inquiring about are going to come to an end. Conflict will cease and soon be replaced with harmony. There will be a sense of peace shared by all, even if some only agree to disagree. Disagreements will be resolved in your favor. This includes struggles with employers, legal battles, arbitration, and even strife among family or friends. Be forgiving and understanding with those who may have been in error. Allow peace to come with grace and dignity for everyone. So there you go. Even if this peaceful resolution is in your favor, be humble. Don't be an asshole. Okay, just be humble. That's legit, right? Be humble, be kind. A lot of times we forget that. and it can cause even more problems. So like I said, if, like the deck said, if this is a peaceful resolution in your favor, be humble. All right. Number 2, abundance. Now, abundance can mean anything. It can mean wealth, prosperity. It can mean love. It could mean relationships. It could be like relationships across the board, not just romantic ones. It could mean anything, okay? I know. What did I just say? I don't read the book on these, and here I'm being told to read the book again. Give you better clarification. Great abundance will find its way into your life. Your plans will yield prosperity, providing a sense of security about the future. Your angels will be with you as you take the actions necessary to manifest your dreams. Abundance is not always financial in nature. You may be seeking to manifest new ideas, a large circle of friends, vibrant health, or romantic love. This card can also reflect an inflow of any of these types of treasures into your life. Open your arms to heaven to receive with gratitude that which you desire. If heaven is not your thing, open your arms to whoever you believe in, or the universe, or the galaxy, or nothingness. Whatever tickles your funny bone. So there you go, abundance. All right, let's see if they'll let me wing the rest of these. Communicate clearly, which apparently I've been doing, having to read the books. So communicate clearly. This can also go with the peaceful resolution. This can really also go with the peaceful resolution, because you want to be able to communicate clearly. A lot of times this is where disagreements happen. We all think we know better. We all think we're right. We all want to be right, right? But opinions don't really have a right answer. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everyone's entitled to what they believe in. And it's not up to us to convince other people that our way is right or their way is right. It's up to us to just, if you believe in something, stand by it. But if it starts to get a little heated, maybe back down a little, or just say, you know what, let's agree to disagree. Okay? But communicate clearly. When you start to fight, nothing gets heard. The minute someone raises their voice, all sensibility goes out the window. Okay? And then it just becomes a big old shit show, and one you probably don't want to, deal with, right? And then it can just cause bad things. So communicate clearly. Or agree to disagree. Communicate clearly that you're willing to agree to disagree, and walk away. And remember, when you do the agree to disagree, it doesn't mean that you're conceding, even if they think that's what it means. Just, walk away with your head held high, right? Be the bigger person. I know it can be hard, but it's up to you. Oh God, I love when these kind of create a story. It's up to you. Whatever it is that you want, whether it's a peaceful resolution, abundance of whatever sort, and communicating clearly, it's up to you. It's up to you to be the bigger person. It's up to you to take that action. It's up to you to believe and trust. Last night I was just about to fall asleep, but I could not stop worrying about everything. So I had to get up, and I had to, just kind of clear my mind. I played some games to just kind of get out of my head. And then I journaled a little bit about how, it's just, change is hard for me. And, but the funny thing is we go through changes all the time. But holding on to past beliefs and moving forward away from them has been rather difficult in my life. And so I realized it's up to me to really kind of clear my head. We sometimes get the take action card. Okay, that's not it. We sometimes get the take action card. And a lot of times, again, as I've mentioned before in the past, we'll sit there and go, well, I don't understand. What am I supposed to take action on? I've done everything. Sometimes it's just about trusting and believing. And believe it or not, that is the hardest thing for me to do, is to trust and believe. But I noticed last night, something clicked a little bit, not in a huge way, but a little bit, that says, you know what, you can do this. You've got this. That little voice inside me, that little Jiminy Cricket that sits on my shoulder that says, you can do this. And I think a lot of times, whether it's good stuff or bad stuff, we hang on to negative things. Well, that made no sense, did it? Okay, let me try that again. I think sometimes we hang on to negative things, even if it's bad, because it's what we're used to. We're used to being let down by people. We're used to, not getting our way. We're used to struggling. We're used to feeling like we're just surviving in our life or existing in our life. But take action. You can go outside. You can go to the beach. You can drive maybe you can't go to the beach, depending on where you live. But what I'm saying is, you can go to your favorite places. You know, you can go sit in a park and people watch. You never know the people you're going to meet in life. I mean, I never expected to meet half the friends I met, but I met them all through hockey. Well, not all of them. And then other ones through my other friends. But the interesting thing is that one of my besties that I grew up with, you know, in San Diego, you know, I met people through him, and there's no way in my mind I would have imagined that he would live, you know, up, not near me, but around the area I live, and not necessarily where we both grew up. So, you know, anything is possible. Anything can happen. It's like the Mary Poppins song, right? In the movie, or not in the movie, in the play. In the play, anything can happen if you let it. And that's up to you. Anything can happen if you let it. And remember, this or something better, because what you're asking for may not be intended for you. But if you ask for this or something better, they'll bring you what is meant for you. Okay? So something that you want may not be intended for you, but you will get what is meant for you. So, ooh, you're ready. You're ready. These are great cards. They really kind of point all in the same direction, don't they? You have your peaceful resolution. So whatever you've been going through, I'll use myself an example. I've been going through this huge healing journey, right? Healing all this stuff. I talked about peeling onions yesterday on the last self-love lesson, and removing negative beliefs and negative words from our lives, and all those things, right? That just kind of pin us down. Okay, you are not a tent. You are a kite. All right, tents get staked down, kites get to fly. Well, they are kind of tied to a string. So you're a loose balloon. I don't know. I'm struggling to find something here. But the peaceful resolution can lead to abundance of all sorts, not just financial prosperity or prosperity. Remember, it can lead to love, it can lead to friendships, it can lead to just all kinds of wonderful things. Abundance isn't just about money. It's about all sorts of things that you want more of in your life, those good vibes, okay? When you communicate clearly, that is extremely, extremely possible. But remember, it's up to you a lot of times to be the bigger person and to be that humble person. We don't need to rub people's faces in the dirt when we're right, okay? Take your victory. When you get home, do your happy dance or your Snoopy happy dance, whatever it is, because you're ready. You're not that knee-jerking person anymore. You're not that, you know, person that reacts to everything and feels like the whole world is against you and wants to be mad at everything. You are ready, set, go. Okay? I feel like I'm talking to myself right now because I really needed that. I truly, truly needed those cards today. The struggle is real sometimes, and the struggle is really real. Back up against the wall again, kind of real. But it is what it is, you know, and we do what we can every day to move forward and try to keep the lights on. But let's see what the magical messages from the fairies are. Now, not everybody believes in fairies. That's fine. I mentioned yesterday that I'll believe in anything until you prove to me that it does not exist. Even werewolves or vampires, I guess. If I get eaten by one, then we'll know they exist. But, anyways, it doesn't matter where the message is coming from. What matters is the message. So, you know, whatever your beliefs, just stick in there. It's like I've said before a million times. I only work from a good place. You know, people have this weird perception of what people like me are like. Oh, you're all bad and you're all evil and y'all worship bad things. And it's like, that's not true. Most people, I mean, there are different, it's like religion, right? I mean, I don't belong to a religion, but it's like religion. There are different factions of everything. There are different sects of everything. You know, people follow their own path, and not everybody subscribes to one particular belief. You know, I mean, I have all kinds of beliefs. I'm pretty covered. You know, it wasn't intentional either. It was just things that resonate with me, and like I said, I'm pretty covered. So, all right, let's see. What messages do you have for us? Let me call in. Hold on one second. I'm reaching out. All right, let's see if we can get something now. Come on. I know there's something in here because they had me pull this deck today. So where is it? There we go. Oh, all that shuffling, it ended up being the top 2 cards. Great. All right, first one, children. Your connection with children is part of your life's purpose. If this resonates with you, fabulous. If it resonates with you, fabulous. And you know, that could be in different ways. Your connection with children is part of your life's purpose. Maybe, you know, I don't know. This is a tough one for me. I don't have kids. I have nieces and nephews, and they all live far away. So, I mean, the closest kid I have is a neighbor across the way, and I don't know them. So, it's just kind of, I told sibling, I said, they're very elusive. You know, it's like you see them from time to time. If they didn't come out during the day, I think they were vampires. But I mean, they're nice, so don't get me wrong. And I'm still alive, so obviously they're not out to kill me. But sorry, horror movies, they're stuck in my head. But your connection with children is part of your life purpose. I have a cousin who works with kids, and I'm not sure that was initially her goal or focus, but boy, she's so good at it. She's so good at it. She doesn't have kids of her own, but she is so good at it. Baby sibling is really good with kids. Older sibling's really good with kids. Kids like me, babies don't like me. I don't know why. Maybe when I hold them, they can sense how nervous I get when I'm holding them. But it's not that I didn't want kids. It just didn't work out for me. And I won't go into that because I'll get all choky. I'll get all choked up about that because it is kind of a rough spot. But yeah, we make choices sometimes that can affect the rest of our life. But anyway, your connection with children is part of your life purpose. I think from me personally, what I like about this card is that you have the opportunity to mold beautiful human beings, you know, to teach them, you know, the rights from wrongs, the good from the bad, how to be open and kind and, you know, see the world through innocent eyes before they get corrupted by the world, period. I mean, how many of us remember being a kid and thinking, gosh, I remember being so happy and carefree and whatever, and then it's like, what happened? You got conditioned by the world. There's so much negativity in the world now that we know we can't shelter kids from it. We can the best we can and for as long as we can. But I think what we need to show them is that we can rise above. That, you know, they are the next generation. They are, you know, even if you're an adult, okay, and you have kids, you know, be nurturing. Be, you know, I mean, people change over time. And, you know, sometimes you end up having to do that whole agree to disagree crap. But, I mean, it's not really crap, but it annoys me because I have to do that a lot. But when it comes down to it, the connection that we have with children is very, 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 very important because we are their guide. Especially in the beginning part of their lives, we are the guide that shows them. I mean, I was lucky to have parents that taught me how to see the world not from a jaded perspective, but from a very compassionate and empathetic place. You know, you never know what someone's going through. Don't make fun of people because, you know, they may have something going on. Don't make fun of the size of people because you don't know what they may suffer through. And I've learned all these lessons the hard way. I've learned all these lessons, you know, by saying something and not necessarily being scolded, but being reminded that's not the kind of people we are, you know, and that's what we have to teach. We have to move this world in a better direction because right now it's a shit show, period. All over the world is a shit show. I mean, inflation doesn't just exist here. It exists in Europe. It exists in England. I mean, everything is just so topsy-turvy, but people don't see the bigger picture. They just blame whoever's in charge. And can't help that. People have opinions. But while people have opinions, they also like to pound people who do not have opinions that agree with theirs. And I think that's where we need to change. That's where we need to communicate clearly, where we need to, really kind of trust the process, where we need to, just don't engage if you don't want the backlash. Just put out there what you put out there. A couple of weeks ago, I talked on a Monday about something that happened to me over the weekend, and somebody made fun of the fact that I wanted to be a positive person. Let me tell you something. I may post a lot of positive shit, and I don't mean shit as in bad. I mean just stuff. But that's not me every day. Every morning I struggle with what kind of day. Well, I wouldn't say every morning, but every morning I wake up and I have to literally check in with myself. And I do it at 8:01 every day, which actually helps me also get to the show on time, which today did not happen. But even on the weekends at noon, because we like to sleep in. I like to sleep in. And I guess we is me, myself, and I. But I have to check in with myself. I post positive stuff because I remember where I used to be. I remember how low I used to be, how crappy I used to feel. And it always baffled my parents. I mean, until they understood what had happened to me as a child, they could never understand why I was the way I was. And even after I told them what happened to me, I don't think they realized, or even I didn't realize, why it was so hard to move past the trauma. But I was bullied a lot in school. I was made fun of a lot. I was made fun of as an adult. I get made fun of now just because I'm not, society's standard for a woman. But I don't care. I mean, I say that now, and tomorrow it may be a whole different story. But right now, in this moment, I don't care. I don't care what other people think of me. I'm alive and breathing. I'm putting something into this world that I think needs to be put into this world. And that's why I do the Friday oracles, because people love it. It's not that easy to do. It does take energy. And it's a bit of about an hour recuperation process after I do these, because I'm tapping in so hard to make sure that whoever needs to hear what they need to hear, hears it. I use oracle cards because you know what? Tarot cards can be snarky and assholes. But you know what? I will tell you this. They're that friend that we have that tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And even though these are oracles, that's what I do too. I don't tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear. And when it comes to our children, we need to raise them with compassion and empathy, and to teach them how to show other people that. No matter what the other person looks like, no matter what disability the other person might have. Or if they're just a regular human being. And by regular, I mean there's nothing wrong with them. They're just, a person. No disabilities, no stuff happening, because everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. I grew up very shy. And, it's, again, a lot of my behaviors baffled my parents. And like I said, they didn't know what was happening to me when I was a kid. I mean, I was very good. And people say, oh, well, they didn't even notice signs. There were no signs. I was groomed so young, there were no signs. And I'm a hell of an actress. I should win an Oscar for my own life. But, from the early days of Shelley Brie. But anyways, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go on that whole little diatribe there. But the point is, we need to be better when it comes to children. And everybody I know really raises their children wonderfully. I have no complaints about the people I know. But I do see other kids in this world where they tease people, they make fun of people, and we don't know what's happening to them. Like I said, the people that used to bully me when I was in school, I don't know what their home life was like. Maybe that was a learned behavior from a parent. Or maybe they were just so sad with their own lives that they had to take it out on somebody else. I don't know. But when we do that, it does affect other people. And we have to be better at not doing that. So, the fairies love and trust children because of their pure faith and guileless motives. This card comes to you as a sign of your connection to them. As you read the additional meanings behind this card, notice which message clicks as your truth. Pay attention to signs and intuitive feelings related to the topic of children, for the universe is trying to get the message to you. It could also be leading you in the direction of being a teacher. Maybe you're sitting on the fence going, do I want to teach kids or do I want to teach adults? And, if you're really good with kids, maybe you can really express, that fun and that joy with them. So additional meanings. Your life purpose involves working with children. The energy of pregnancy surrounds you. A child in heaven is sending a message of love. Aww. You have a connection to indigo, crystal, or rainbow children. Your inner child needs to play. My inner child definitely needs to play. I thought, oh, let's go to the beach. I'm like, no, I just did my hair today, and for once, and the first time in about 2 weeks, it's actually cooperating with me. So, nope. I know. Nobody says you have to dunk your head in, dumbass. Just go to the water. But I love this too. You have a connection to indigo, crystal, or rainbow children. I have a lot of theories about indigo, crystal, and rainbow children, all good ones. But I believe some of the nonverbal people in our world, and this is just me, you know, this is metaphysical day. Okay, we're doing the oracle cards. We're tapping into the other side through the veil, which is thinning as we speak, although it's always thin in my life. But I believe that sometimes our nonverbal children are indigo or crystal or rainbow children. Like they exist on their brain exists on a whole different level than we are. Their souls exist on a whole different level than we are, and they just haven't really, you know, squeezed themselves into a human life. You know, and that's just my theory. But it seems to always make sense, because a lot of times when you talk to people who have nonverbal children, or, you know, children who are just different, I don't mean different in a bad way, but just, you know, may have some issues, not have some issues, they always seem to have something very similar in common. Plus, sometimes when they're siblings who have the same thing, they communicate with each other. They can communicate with each other. So my theory is that, you know, maybe, just maybe, some of these indigo, crystal, or rainbow children, you know, are the children that we, you know, they struggle to communicate with us because they're existing on a whole different plane of existence than we are. And that's just my theory. That's just something that hit my head one day and really kind of worked itself into this. And I think if we could, you know, lessen our grasp on what we consider to be reality and dive a little deeper in to metaphysics and spirituality, we might actually have the answers for some of these things. We might even find a way to communicate. But there's so many stigmas on who we are, what society allows us to believe. And I think that's why I chose to just step out of that box. I lived very, very comfortably in that box. And, you know, to be fair, and she's going to laugh if she's on, older sibling used to call me a conformist quite a lot. And I always told her how I had a whole like hour and a half conversation with myself, with her in the car with me, about how it sounds like communist. But, you know, being a conformist suited me for the time that it did. But now I'm really, really trying to learn how to step out of that box, how to just kind of exist in a different place, you know, a more open place, a more open-minded place. And it's not to say anything bad about other people, but, you know, sometimes that's why our inner child does need that play. Okay, so this also might, you know, the energy of pregnancy surrounds you. That is resonating with me, not me particularly, but I feel like that is really pointing at somebody. I don't know who you are watching this that it does, but for some reason it is around me, and I was told to repeat that. So there you go. Next card. Be yourself. Be yourself. This situation calls for you to be your authentic self, which is the basis for your personal power. So the first thing I got on this one that popped in my head was, if you are meeting somebody or you're going out on a first date, or maybe somebody, like, I feel like somebody is going to have somebody contact them soon. You know, like out of the blue, you're not going to see it happening. You're going to be like, whoa. Don't be anybody but yourself. Okay? Because you don't want to pretend to be... I'm sorry, I just got a message and I have to tell you that's exactly what I was thinking. But, you know, anyway, so you know who you are, who I'm talking to. But anyways, but if you're meeting somebody, be yourself, because you know what? if you're going to be somebody else and you go on that second, third, or fourth date and then you start being yourself, they may not click with that person. And then you're going to feel like you got to be this other person the whole time. If you are yourself, the right person is going to choose you. They're going to want to be with you. They're going to want to hang out with you. That doesn't mean you might get married, but what it means is that right now you're involved with somebody who sees you. Don't be anybody other than you. Okay, be your authentic self. All right, so, be that badass on a unicorn. I mean, you don't have to tell them your life story the minute you meet them and sit down, but just get to know each other. Just if you giggle or you laugh or, it's okay. Some people find that endearing. Some people find that very, very cute. My last boyfriend loved my giggles. Actually, all my friends love my giggles. Can't help it. I just bring the joy to the table. Anyways. Oh God, here we go. Anyway, sorry. You're most powerful and effective when you're genuine and authentic with yourself and others. See? If you pretend to feel, act, or be something other than yourself, you lose awareness of your feelings, which are a source of important guidance. The answer to the question you've been asking is be yourself. Behave, speak, and even dress as you normally would, and don't worry what others think. By being your true self, you give others the opportunity to love the real you. Exactly. You have to let them see who you are so you attract the right people into your life. It doesn't matter if it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, whatever. Just be yourself. In fact, I have to say, so I'm on my Facebook because it's just family and friends. I'm a little more personal on there, and I don't hide my beliefs or what I think, and I really don't hide them, period. But I have a cousin that my baby sibling got us in touch with, like, this whole other side of our family tree that none of us ever had really met, that from all my dad's siblings, and it's his father's side of the family. And one of my cousins calls me either the high priestess or the high goddess. And it's like, oh, because you don't know what's going to happen when you meet new people, but I'm just me. I'm my authentic me, and I'm doing my best to live by that personal mantra to just be yourself, because I don't push my beliefs on other people. So they see things that I post, and they love you anyway. So just be yourself. Additional meanings. Trust your feelings. A relationship improves when you let down your guard. Instead of copying others, follow your own internal guidance. Know that you're lovable for who you are. Know that you're lovable for who you are. You are amazing, damn it. Whoever you are amazing. Emphasize your personal style at work is a key to business success. Trust and follow through on your ideas. Fully express yourself through an artistic or creative endeavor. That's exciting. So if there's something that you've been wanting to do it. Sorry, it's my echo. Anyways, let's move on to the Angels of Atlantis. I'm kind of excited about this deck. There's not a lot of cards. See how stiff they are? I know, because I don't use them. More cards that just got lost in the shuffle, right? So let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see what we got here. I think I'll call on Archangel Gabriel for this one. What do people need to hear? Or what do you want them to hear? Maybe that should be the question I ask. What do you want them, to hear? Oh, okay. Wow. You gotta love that. It just kind of came right out there. All right, this was the first one. Oh, how funny. How funny. It's Archangel Gabriel. And balance. So I play this farm-ish game. It's called Township on it's just a game on an app. And the funny thing is when I first started this, I started the game because my anxiety was just shooting through the roof, and I needed something to just kind of focus on. And so I named my town Balance. And I have to tell you, I was not living up to that name at the time. But I find myself becoming more and more in focus. Now, I like how they have the picture of one of Da Vinci's drawings in there. I believe it was Da Vinci's drawings. But Archangel Gabriel is he's the messenger angel You know, for anybody who knows the Bible, he's the one that came down to Mary, said, hey, by the way, you're going to get pregnant. By the way, you were the chosen one to, you know, give birth to the Son of God. But Archangel Gabriel is, all archangels are non-denominational. You know, I know that we want to pin them to a religion, but I have done a lot of studying on this. I've done a lot of studying on all things, light and dark. And because you need to know. You need to know what you're surrounding yourself with. And sometimes, you know, depending on the situation, you need to know what you're battling. But, and how to do it. But balance is key. And that seems to be kind of the ongoing theme here, right? Even with the children, it's all about balance. The angel cards that we had, it's all about balance. The last card we had about being yourself, it's all about balance. Everything really kind of ties into balance. Light and dark is a balance. You know, if you must, good and evil, it's a balance. All of these things are a balance. When we go through this healing journey I've been on, my main goal has been to find some sort of steady footing or balance. So what I love about Archangel Gabriel is he is the messenger angel. And, you know, I believe he can do so much more than just being a messenger, but that's what he does. He guides us, he teaches us, he shows us the way. You know, and like I said, I'm not sure. I called on him for help, and this is the card that flew out of the deck first. This was the first card that flew out of the deck. So, either he's making himself known or he's just going, yeah, just listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. So let's see. Gabriel, the divine messenger. Wait. Oh, balance. Here we go. But you know what? I think there's more. Oh, no. I see. All right. Sorry, this is all new to me. Gabriel wants you to know you have been too busy and wishes you to become more earthed. That's what it says. Earthed. E-A-R-T-H-E-D. So Gabriel wants you to know you have been too busy and wishes you to become earthed. To take stock of past actions that have resulted in your life process becoming out of equilibrium. Whenever our yin-yang dualistic force moves out of balance, our energy drops. Gabriel asks you to create harmony by yielding to meditation and stillness so that the divine messengers may remove your burdens. Gaze at the wonderfully integrated intelligence of Leonardo da Vinci's art. I was right. And you will feel an altogether different state emerging. Then, Om Mane Padme Hum, chanted 3 times, will rebalance your process as this mantra opens compassionate yielding in our hearts. I apologize if I said that wrong. So I like that. The benediction. Gabriel wishes you to know that many blessings are sent to you from the angelic kingdoms. Simply yield to this. Don't resist. Just let go. The joy and love you will receive wait, what? The joy and love you will receive as flow directly from the source will surpass anything else you may experience. These feelings are the virtues that will always be received in the holy instant of benediction. The angel's service is to be a loving conduit for the divine lifting away any challenge you may experience. Fear makes us unaware of the angels. Surrender the grip of fear and your blessings will accrue. Say a prayer like Hail Mary full of grace as a song to the divine feminine, illuminating the nature of your connection with the holy ones. And the grace for the card. The Oracle of Gabriel wishes you to receive the heavenly gift of grace. This is always given when we most require it. Therefore, consider how you may have miscreated an aspect of your life and therefore experiencing an absence of this divine elixir. Gabriel is asking you to unfold your wings and fly like a swan to cleaner water. There you will sample a renewed state of being, sensing the purities of life and truly recognizing your soul as a gift of grace. Chant Om 3 times and you will feel grace surging through every neural pathway. I love Om. That's a big chanty thing. For I believe oh, forgive me, I'm blanking. Is it the Hindu religion, Buddhists? I'm not sure if they both use it, so I apologize if I misspoke there, but it is very, very helpful, and it can really, really throw you in tune with yourself. If that card is resonating with you, it's asking you for a balance. I will be honest with you, that card really, really resonated with me. It's almost like Archangel Gabriel said, well, if you're not going to listen to me, you're going to listen to me now. And it's because, you know, I've been stuck in one spot for far too long. I haven't been able to push myself over the finish line and into the next start line, because the imbalance that has been created by me is this one of being unable to let go of past bad habits, negative bad habits. And it's beneficial for us to let go of what no longer serves us. We may think it serves us, but does it really? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Does it really? Are you really in the place that you want to be? Are you really feeling and drawing in these great experiences that you want to draw in? Or are you holding back because you're afraid of whatever greatness? I will tell you this, and I'm being 100% honest. I truly, truly believe, and I am saying this from the top of my head, so you and I are the first to hear it come out of my mouth in this moment, afraid of being happy. And that sucks. It does. And I think it's because, you know, in this trauma-based life that I lived, whenever there was happiness, there was a shoe that always seemed to drop. But it's very possible that I was manifesting those things. It's very possible that I was just choosing incorrectly in some of the choices that I made, or, you know, or would be considered now questionable. But is that a probability? Is that a probability? Are you afraid of being happy? And I hate to say it, and I really do think that that might be one of my problems. Do I deserve it? Am I worth it? And I have to tell you that if you're asking yourself those questions, answer it with a yes. Because I'll tell you, those words flying out of my mouth just now, they surprised the hell out of me. I'm being honest. That literally just hit the top of my head as we were going through this. So I feel like I am also getting a message as you guys are all getting this message. So again, if your archangels aren't your thing, don't worry about where the message is coming from. Consider the message. And if you don't pray, like the Hail Mary and all those things, or the Ohms, then meditate. Do whatever it is that makes you happy. Do some yoga. Do some Tai Chi. Whatever brings you joy to help you get back into your balance and help you center yourself. Do that. Because this card is screaming for balance. Oh my God, this is so funny. So I guess there's different cards, and I just read every single one of them for Archangel Gabriel. So there's a balance card, a benediction card, and a grace card. And the interesting thing is, now I will tell you, I have shuffled these cards before. Okay, they're not in order. I used them once or twice a while ago. Like, got these cards about 1.5 years ago, and it was around that time that I last used them. But we got Gabriel benediction. So I asked, and he received. I wonder if I shuffle again and ask for somebody else, if they'll show up. But I'm going to read benediction again just in case, because I think it really fits in with what I just said. Gabriel wishes you to know that many blessings are sent to you from the angelic kingdoms. Simply yield to this. Simply yield to this. Don't resist. Just let go. Just let go. You know, I saw a post this morning that was wonderful. It says sometimes you just have to take that leap of faith. And it's scary. It is. But you know what? When you trust and believe, you will land in a good spot. Even if it doesn't feel like it at the time, you will say, hey, you know what? I get it now. I see it. So just let go. Simply yield to this. Don't resist, and just let go. The joy and love you will receive as flow directly from the source will surpass anything else you may experience. These feelings are the virtues that will always be received in the holy instant of benediction. The angel's service is to be a loving conduit for the divine, lifting away any challenge you may experience. Fear makes us unaware of the angels. Fear is an asshole. Fear makes us unaware of the angels, so surrender the grip of fear and your blessings will accrue. There you go. I kind of like that deck. It's really pretty too. It's just kind of like, ooh. It's all vibey. This deck should come with its own set of rules. That's all I gotta say. The romance deck should come with its own set of rules. And the reason I say that is because I really, really, really want to repeat guideline number 2. Do not try to make a card reading fit your question. If the card does not resonate with you, forcing an outcome or answer not meant for you can cause unnecessary stress and overthinking and anxiety. And that is not what you want. If these cards in the romance deck do not resonate with you, Please do not try to make them fit. Now you're probably sitting there going, why are you reading us the guidelines again? Because I will tell you, sometimes I'll be on TikTok, you go down the rabbit hole, right? And you'll see people doing lives, and I shit you not, 99% of those questions aren't about, will I get this job? Will my financial situation improve? It's always about, will he or she want to marry me or ask me to marry them? Is this person meant to be in my life? When is my soulmate coming? Is this the relationship of my dreams? Will I ever have a partner? Blah, blah, blah. It's always about romance and love. And I'm not going to lie. I have never asked any of those. I just sit there and then I scroll past it going, wow. And it's not that I don't want to find something. I do. But I'm not making it my priority anymore because it hurts. And I'm being honest when I say that. It fucking hurts to want to be seen and loved, and see, it's making me emotional. That's why I had to pull back and not make it my priority anymore. I put so much energy into finding something, and then it doesn't happen. And, and I mean just not people themselves, but putting it out there going, is it ever going to happen? And then you start to second guess yourself, and it hurts. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to get emotional. I don't know what's happening. But, so even though it's something I still truly, truly want, it's not what I'm putting, as of yesterday, believe it or not, it is not what I'm putting all my energy towards. So see, it's still very new, and maybe that's why it's a little emotional for me. But, I will say this, and I'm not being a narcissist, I promise you, but this is feedback from friends. Whoever gets me is going to be one lucky son of a bitch. That's all I got to say. I was a pretty decent partner, even with my trauma. And now I'm so different. I'm less paranoid. I'm less anxiety riddled. And I know that, those things still exist in me. And I know that no relationship is perfect. It's going to have its bumps and bruises. But you know what? I mean, not literal bruises, okay? It's going to have its bumpy moments. But I'm less reactionary. And by that I mean I'm less knee-jerky and, ready to fight someone. Like, all right, let's go to town. And I don't mean physically fight. I mean just those verbal things where people disagree. And, thank you, Eileen. Eileen's so sweet. But, I think there's just a little more confidence in me. And I put a lot of reasons as to why none of this has happened. But anyways, that's a story for another day. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to go off in that direction. Let's do the romance cards. But that whole thing that you just saw, this is why I'm telling you. If it does not resonate with you, please, please, please. Just, like I said, this deck of cards, when they make me do, and yes, because I'll say I don't want to do these cards, and I don't care where it is in my deck, I will literally find it falling to the floor. That happened the first time I did not want to do this deck. I put it back, and it fell off my shelf. Now, mind you, we get earthquakes here in Southern California. Those cards don't move. So you can take that as you want to take it, but I know better now. when a deck is heavily suggested, it means do it. So just remember, guys, if it doesn't resonate, or maybe if it even gives you a tingle, come back a little later and see what it means to you then. You never know. Or just take the guidance from the card, because it could fit any type of relationship, okay? So, all right. I'm not sure how much I like this one. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and your spiritual path. Religious factors. That's one of them that flew out of the deck. So, I got a few opinions on that one. And I think the reason I do is because I grew up in a very unique household. My father is very non-religious. He was raised in a religion that would be almost cult-like. But I don't want to say anything because, people are allowed to believe what they want to believe. And I don't step on that. But because of that experience growing up, he really moved away from religion, and he's, like I said, it depends. It depends on the day whether he's an agnostic or an atheist. So, and I don't mean that as a joke. It's just sometimes there's a higher power. Other times, he'll be like, if there's a God, why did this happen to your mother? So, I've had to make peace with that myself, having been raised by a Catholic. So that was my life. There was a balance. We had the non-believer and we had the believer. And somehow it worked out. But the nice thing about that is I learned to question things. I learned to question everything. Do my own homework. Do my own fact checking. And that's what I do with everything in my life. I do my own fact checking. I mean, I love research. Research is it's in my bones. I just love to do that kind of stuff. So anyways, ooh, yikes. Oh, well, that's interesting. We got two interesting cards and one really good one. So deception. Yikes, deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So, let me tap into my experience again. I don't really consider myself to be that old, but damn, I have a lot of life experience. And I had a lot of life experience before I even turned 30. And there was a person I dated once. Deception everywhere. But I was so in love. I was so just needing to be needed. Those were the days when I let a relationship define me as opposed to complete me. And I really truly believe for a good relationship to be effective, a relationship should complete you, not define you. What you do in your own life should be what defines you. Now, this is all my opinion. This is just my perspective. But from watching everybody, for being single for like a bazillion decades, okay, you see other people and you watch them. It's almost like being an observer in the wild. And I'm not making fun, but literally like one of those Sir David Attenborough, Life or Earth programs where you're watching from afar and you're seeing how people react to each other. And you're seeing the people who just are so in love and you're like, wow, do they even fight? Do they have anything wrong? And then you see the people who, not necessarily are finding their balance, but people who've been in a relationship for a while and they're just so unbalanced because, there could be something that they don't see, or maybe there's something going on. But whatever the case is, if this is you, just be yourself. We had that card earlier. Be yourself. That was from the other fairies, right? These are the romance angels from the same creator of the magical fairies. We got be yourself. You don't have to wear a false mask, to get someone to love you. The right person will. You just have to believe it and trust yourself. That's where trust and faith and believing in yourself is. That's where that leap of faith comes from. Maybe you have to go through a lot of frogs to get to the prince or princess. Frogettes. But, when it's ready to happen, it will happen. And that's one thing I've had to say to myself. But someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So just be careful with that. Let's see what that says. Deception. The word itself is just it's like a black cloud, isn't it? This card is a loving nudge for you to beware of deception within a relationship. This could involve something mild, such as a run-of-the-mill politeness, where your partner is afraid of offending you by sharing true feelings. Perhaps you're the one wearing the mask because you aren't disclosing something to your partner. Deep down, you know what this card pertains to. The romance angels are trying to protect your heart. Please say this invocation either silently or aloud. Romance angels, I ask that you give me very clear guidance that I can easily notice and understand to reveal the truth about the situation to my conscious awareness. Then notice and trust the signs that follow. This card is also a reminder to you about the importance of being genuine with your partner. Although discussing your true feelings may be uncomfortable, it will improve your relationship on many levels. Okay, so after reading that, this is the part that really sticks out to me. This could involve something mild, such as a run-of-the-mill politeness, where your partner is afraid of offending you by sharing true feelings. If your partner is afraid of sharing true feelings with you, you really need to take a step back and ask yourself why. Is there pain inside of you? Is there something hurting inside of you? You know, that people will always say that, right? When someone's cranky, who hurt you? You know, I mean, that's kind of the running joke in a way, but who hurt you? And if you're in a new relationship, if you're, you know, or maybe you're rekindling one, whatever it is, be yourself, but let that part of you heal. Don't punish somebody for something somebody else did to you in the past. You know, that's the biggest thing. Do not punish somebody for something somebody did to you in the past. You know, the last person I was with, I really, really thought he was the one. I did. And in one breath, he said to me, I want to be with you forever, but I don't want to get married because nothing lasts forever. It's like, so you want to be with me forever and you think that's okay, but you don't want to get, and I was young then. So, being married, that was, the dream, right? The big wedding dress and all that crap. But, sorry, it's not crap, but all that stuff. But I just didn't understand that. And it was because of what happened when he was growing up with his parents. And I would have done anything for this person. Truly, truly would have. And it turns out after a while that it really was not my person. But at the time I thought it was. And it was painful. When that relationship ended, when I walked away, it was painful. But we'd grown so far apart. But I felt like I was being punished for somebody else's misdeeds. And that's what we don't want to do in a relationship. If you have that fear, let it go. Okay, we had that other card, right? The balance and the benediction from Archangel Gabriel, where it's just, lean into the faith and the trust and the believing and let the fear go. Fear, like I said, fear is a liar, fear is an asshole. And it will do everything it can to anchor you into just existing because it doesn't want you to be happy. I mean, shall we visit my little geography map again? There is the Sea of Misery with the island of... Oh God, I forgot what the island was already. See, it's been so long since I've been there, I forgot. But you had the Sea of Misery, right? And then you had the Wall of Waves, which is just those emotions. That's the fear. The Wall of Waves is that fear. But once you break through that fear, you get into the ocean of bliss. That's right, the ocean, because the ocean is way bigger than a sea. Or a lake, a great lake. But that's what we have to do. We have to find our way through that wall of waves. It might be painful. I mean, God, have you ever been pummeled by a wave? I have. Not fun. It's scary. It is scary. But you survive and you live and you realize, hey, you know what? Okay. So, the next card. This is interesting. True love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So, whoever's getting that pregnancy card, I'm telling you, I'm feeling it. I feel like this card is for you. So there you go. So, true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. Lean into it. All right? Maybe there's a reason that this deception card came up first. Because maybe you're the one hiding. Maybe you're the one that's afraid. Maybe you're the one that can't let down their guard because you've been hurt so many times that it's hard to trust that the next thing will happen. But you know what? Dating comes with pain. I'm just winging it. I'm kind of hoping that the next person that pops into my life is just it. But whatever. Whatever happens, happens, right? But this is what we have to do. We have to let down that guard, take off that mask of deception, and just be who we are. And, like I said, sometimes you got to kiss a bunch of toads to get to the prize, right? But that's okay, because each one of those toads is a lesson. I mean, I hate referring to people like that, but I'm just using the old metaphors. So anyways, true love. All right, this is the romance of a lifetime. That's exciting. I'm excited for whoever's getting that card, because I shall live vicariously through you. You pulled this card because true and lasting love is here for you. If your question was about a specific person, then this card serves as validation of the relationship's divine nature. This individual has genuine love for you, and you both can overcome the issues that arise. This is especially the case if you can express your feelings through attributes such as kindness, compassion, and courtesy towards each other. For instance, having honest conversations would be an expression of your true love, even if it involves discussing uncomfortable topics. If you're currently seeking a relationship, this card offers you assurance that true love is on its way. Sorry, that just happened. Keep the faith that a wonderful relationship is destined to come to you, and don't compromise with an unsuitable partner. It's essential that you treat yourself well by taking excellent care of yourself, for the foundation of a true love relationship, is two people who cherish who they are. All right, so remember when we started this particular deck, I thought, these are some lame-ass cards. I get it now. Because the last card is religious factors. And it says your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Now, I'm just going to dive right into that one, and we'll go from there. So, this card reveals that religion and spirituality are subtle but important factors in your love life. Perhaps you're looking for a relationship with a partner who shares your spiritual beliefs. If so, this card comes to you as guidance to seek your new partner at the church, temple, or meeting place associated with your faith. If you're currently with a partner who isn't spiritually minded or whose beliefs differ markedly from your own, you may feel dissatisfied. You may also be influenced by family traditions that expect you to marry within your own culture or religion. That's funny, because that's where I was going to go with this. The romance angels are helping you address this issue, and they ask you to remain true to yourself during the process. Decide which factors you will and won't accept in your relationship and what your priorities are for your partner. For instance, it's possible that your love interest may live the spiritual principles that you find important. For example, forgiveness, charity, kindness, and the like, without having the same religious affiliations that you do. The angels remind you that your partner, like everyone, is a holy child of God. Everyone is spiritual, or your higher power, or your source. Everyone is spiritual in truth, because everyone is spirit. Although it's not up to you to change your partner to match your spiritual path, your affirmations, prayers, and visualizations can have a positive influence on both you and your relationship. So, here we go. There may be times when you meet somebody who you think, uh-oh, I don't subscribe to what they believe in. And you're going to try to pretend to be somebody you are not. Because you're afraid that if you're not, this person that you seem to feel that you have a spark with will just off and run. If it is true love, and this is your person, be yourself. Okay? Be yourself. Don't try to, convince them to be who you want them to be. Just be yourself. My mother was very, very Catholic. I mean, this was a girl who, when she was 7 or 8 years old, would walk herself to church. I mean, it wasn't that far from her house, but still, she would walk herself to church, and she would go to Mass every Sunday. Okay, I mean, 7 or 8, she was walking herself to church. My father grew up in a very, very strict religious family and moved away from it. I mean, he moved far away from it, like a total 180. And he chose to not believe anymore. Or he believed... I'm pretty sure he settled on a higher power, but I'm not sure. Like, something's out there. But the point I'm trying to make is, my parents, they took a while to have me, okay? But they were married for 47 years. And the only reason they weren't married longer is because my mother passed away. But they made it work. And this is why. When we have our spiritual beliefs, whatever they are. I mean, here's my big thing. I'm always worried that someone is just going to find what I believe in hokey. But I get messages that say, you know what, even if they don't agree with you, which I don't know whoever it is that comes into my life, I don't know what they're going to believe. But they're just going to love me for me. That much I know. And vice versa. And that's what they did. That's what my parents did. And I know that's probably not the greatest example, because they're saying, well, that's just one set of people. But there's a lot of people like that. I have friends who one is, a non-meat eater, the other one's a meat eater, but they make it work. And yeah, that's not religion, but they're differences. Look past the front part of a person. Look inside of them. What resonates, and what, maybe you don't have the same religion, but maybe you have all the same favorite sports team. Build on that. Maybe they go to church every Sunday and you watch football every Sunday. And that could be the girl staying at home watching football while the guy goes to church. Everything's interchangeable. But when you love somebody, you see past those things. Because that's just one aspect. Maybe if that does resonate with you, or you're not having luck, go and, to wherever your faith is, or groups of people that, that intermingle with your beliefs, because you may find somebody there, or you may find somebody through somebody there. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. But when we put stipulations on things, when we halt things because they don't fit our beliefs, or they don't fit our family's beliefs, that's when you have to do what's best for you. Okay? The part where they talk about, maybe your family expects you to marry something. It was funny. Last night, my Big Fat Greek Wedding Part 2 was on. And I'm going to use that as an example. Good morning, baby bear. I'm going to use that as an example for one reason. Because it's based in truth. The original story. It's based in some kind of truth. But you have families like that. And this person said, no, I'm putting my foot down because this is the person I love. This is my person. And it kind of opened up doorways for everybody. It kind of opened up this whole understanding that you have to let people be who they're going to be and love who they're going to love. Even in the Joy Luck Club, right? That was a great movie way back in the 90s. The one girl came from a certain ethnicity and wanted to marry someone from another ethnicity, and the whole family was like, oh my god, I can't believe you. But then after a while you see that they just slide right in, and everybody kind of lets down their guard and says, okay, they're not that bad. They make my child happy. And that's what's important, is if they make your child happy, or but more importantly, that they make you, whoever you are picking, happy. Okay, and I think we're going to end on that. I know I have the Enchanted Unicorn deck, but I feel like that was kind of the exclamation mark. That was the period on the sentence. Be who you want to be. Okay, live the life you want to live. Be responsible, obviously, because we all have things that we need to be responsible for. But this is your life. You are living it for you. And there's always going to be someone who thinks they know what's better for you. But you know what's best for you. And if you don't, seek guidance. Okay, we had a whole array of cards here. We had the angel cards that were just telling you, hey, abundance can be yours. It's up to you. You're ready. You're ready. We had the true love cards where it's deception. Be yourself. Take off that mask. That's when true love will arrive. And don't worry about religious or spiritual factors, because, don't get tied up in other people's, wants for you. Do what makes you happy. Do what sets your soul on fire. All right. And remember the Archangel Gabriel cards. Those were very important. The balance. There is a balance, and we all have a balance within ourselves. That yin yang, right? That yin yang duality that I think a whole different deck talked about. So go off and be exciting this weekend. If you're having Halloween parties, be safe, drive safely, drink responsibly. I will see everybody back here Monday. We're going to do I don't know why I always say we. I think it's we because, like I said in past lives, that in past perspectives, it's always like I'm on a live. And so I do get people on here that comment. So it's like a we thing when we're live. But go out there and have fun, But like I said, Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, I'll be back here with a special Samhain episode. We're going to just do some fun facts about Halloween, and maybe or maybe not, I might be dressed up. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. So anyways, I actually have a really good idea. I don't think people will get it, but it's totally my jam. But anyways, again, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Monday, special Halloween episode. I'll see everybody back here and then. Facebook Live, it's public, so anybody can watch under Shelly Marie Lucas. Or I do upload them to YouTube under the Aloha Perspective with Shelly Marie Lucas. I do share it to Twitter. I share shorter versions usually. If it's a card, I will share it to Instagram and TikTok. But if it's long like these things, they usually just stay here. And then I do share it to my Facebook page, the Aloha Perspective. So I hope everybody has a wonderful, 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 wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Be kind to one another. And you know what? Let's do our best to find that balance right now. And that compassion and empathy for other people and yourself, especially yourself. Give yourself some grace. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you so much for watching.